What's good, everybody? It's Mozu back with another video today. I hope every single one of you are having a wonderful day. And today, I think I'm going to talk a little bit about astrology. And today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the upcoming comic series I plan to do called The Corridors of Reverb. And with that being said, I want to show you all this that I recently did. It portrays my main character of The Corridors of Reverb, Charlie, right here, dangling down from this building, right? And he's dangling down, right, but he's pulling on, basically, he's holding on to this, it looks like a string, but it's actually almost looks like barbed wire. But in reality, it's something that I call these Plutonian spikes, right? And I portray them in my other artworks, such as the one I have in progress right here. It's basically all of these spikes that you see alongside here. I call them Plutonian spikes because, in my opinion, I feel like those spikes, they just represent the planet Pluto and the energy that it holds. I feel like that's accurate. But, yes, I want to explain to y'all my comic series and what I plan to do for it. I plan to basically, Charlie's going to be the main character, and in his world, in his story, he's going to be living half of his life in a dream world, while half of it he is also spending in reality, how we spend our lives, how we, interpret our lives. He's going to be having half of that, basically, in the dream world, also known as the reverb. And the reverb is just this vastly expansive place where these liminal buildings reside, and in each one of the corridors of each of the buildings, each window of these buildings will lead to a different part of the universe. It will either lead to a different realm that I created, like a different dream realm, or it will lead to a different universe or a different part of our universe, meaning a different timeline, meaning all kinds of things, meaning different memories that other people have lived, just anything that is existed. And basically the reverb is known as the sixth realm because there's going to be 12 realms of the dream world, including our own reality, which is known as the 12th realm, and it's what we spend the present moment in. But basically the sixth realm is going to be the reverb because it's going to be the in-between, basically, of all the other realms. It's going to be how you access the other realms in the first place. It's just going to be like that little transitional space is what you could call it, I guess. But basically, yes, that was the one I did recently. And this one I did a little bit farther back, but it goes along basically with the other one that I just showed. And it shows Charlie with his hand on the wall, right? And his energy's flowing up into the walls, and he's just looking out into the distance. And this is what the reverb looks like, basically, up there. That is the reverb, and it says the end right here. And that is because the realm that I'm portraying right here is known as the 10th realm. And it's also known as Veluces, which is basically my depiction of hell, in a way. And where Charlie is in this drawing is he is in basically the main hub of hell, the most peaceful part of hell, and the only place that you could even possibly exit this hell, basically. It's going to have all kinds of different meanings and entities that reside there and all kinds of things that go along with it. But basically, Charlie, like, this whole comic series is basically going to start off as Charlie as a teenager going through high school, basically. And him basically just learning lessons from himself and from other people. And the more lessons that he learns basically in the 12th realm, in reality, he applies those lessons to the dream world and tries to fix things there. Because just how in our reality things are chaotic, things are a little messy, the dream world is also that way. And I feel like we can also have an influence on that in a way. So basically, yeah, half of his reality is going to be in this dream world, and then he's going to wake up in the 12th realm being reality. He's going to wake up tired as fuck because he's living whole days. He's living whole weeks at times in these realms where he's spending trying to either defend himself or defend other people that use that place almost like as a sanctuary. And the only people that will have access to those places, that will be able to influence them and remember that they're going there, are basically psychic people, mostly children, psychic children. And that is the whole premise of the comic book, basically, and the series that it's going to be. And in his reality, though, he's going to be going through, his own issues, either mentally or in his external world. He's going to be dealing with his own things, and he's going to have to learn as time goes on to interpret those things as part of not only himself, but his success and where he wants to be. With that being said, I want to give y'all a quote that has been helping me a lot through my life. And it is, life does not get easier, you just get stronger. I feel like this is very accurate. And I feel like the only way that we could even be able to perceive life as easy ever is by getting the strength to do so. By making that strength for ourselves. Because honestly, we gotta treat ourselves like we are our own best friend. And what I mean by that is, if you are a caring and empathetic and nurturing person, you probably go out of your way to help your friends. You probably go out of your way to influence them in positive ways, which is commendable, it's lovely. And I don't want anybody to stop doing that. But what I do want people like that to do is to find the energy to do that for themselves as well, either in their own head or externally through things that they do for themselves. Whether it's something simple, like getting a snack before bed, if you really feel like it, if you really haven't ate much in that day, and you feel like that you want a snack, don't feel like you should, in a way, neglect your body or resist that for any other reason. If your body is telling you something, or especially if your intuition, your soul is telling you something, then you should most definitely listen to it. You know what I mean? And I apologize for the motherfucking background noise and shit. My house, my neighborhood is a loud place, I'm not gonna lie. My backyard is a highway. And so I have to find my own experiences with nature while being surrounded by not only the energies that are passing constantly, with the cars and everything, but I have to, like that motherfucker. But I have to immerse myself in nature and appreciate it the way that I can, despite being surrounded with that. I have to appreciate what I have if I want to be what I want to be in the future, if I want to achieve what, I want to dream of, in a way. I feel like that if we don't appreciate what we have now, how can we expect to appreciate what we have in the future? How can we expect to obtain what we want for ourselves in the future, if we cannot appreciate what we have now? Because in reality, I think something that's been helping me get through a lot is that it could always be worse. It really could always be worse. There's people that are struggling all across the world right now, through wars, through horrible things, through acts of inhumanity, through acts of hatred, through acts of persecution, just all kinds of things. And I'm not saying to focus on that and put your energy into that, because it's wrong to do so. Because in reality, if you can't influence it, you can't change that, why worry about it, in a way? It's okay. It's always okay to be informed about it. It's always okay to learn more about it and to, in a way, immerse yourselves in that perspective to understand other perspectives around you and to understand what's happening in the world around you. I'm not saying that you should avoid information like that, but if it's only upsetting you and it's only holding you back from what you need to do, what you need to obtain for your goals, I feel like it may be best to just appreciate the present moment instead and not worry so much as to the things that we can't control. I feel like what is in our hands, that is something we should worry about. But what is in our head, something we cannot control, I feel like at times there's not much use, worrying about that. I also feel like a lot of people suffer more in their imaginations than they do in the outside world. I feel like a lot of people do. And in saying that, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people dwell on their own situation, or their own past situations, or their own past selves, so much to the point where it's holding us back from what we need to be doing, basically, in the present moment. What we need to be doing to contribute to our goals. What little tiny steps that we need to be making to achieve what we want to in the future. And you know what, bro? You know what? I was thinking about this the other day, and I realized that there's going to be some days where you have to be proud of yourself, and you have to be accepting and appreciative that you got out of bed this morning. You got out of bed this morning, you are breathing air, you are trying your best. I feel like if you know in your heart and soul that you're trying your best, then that should always be accepted by you. You should always be able to realize that and accept that. I feel like no matter how hard it is, because it is hard. It's taken me a long time, and it's not going to be instantaneous. I feel like a lot of people are going to, watch these videos at first and not really know how to apply this knowledge at first. They're not really going to know how to interpret this in their own way. But as time goes on, I feel like a lot of people, if you are truly listening, I feel like you will realize, I guess, the messages that I'm trying to convey with this. And of course, I'm not telling y'all how to live y'all life. I don't want anybody in these videos to think that I'm telling you how to live your life. In reality, you have free will. You can truly do anything with your life. And that is the beauty of life as a whole. That's how beautiful it is. I'm not telling y'all specifically what you have to do, what you need to do. But I am letting you all know the advice that has gotten me to where I am. To the point where I can achieve what I want to with my art, with my music, with what I do. With my content, with my inspiration. I feel like it's important to just accept yourself. Accept where you are. Accept that you are still here. Because if you're watching this video right now, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but you have lived every single moment in your life, living up to this moment, and you have been alive through it. Bro, these monkeys are crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. They're crazy, bro. They're just going up and down the street. Wonderful time to start doing this, but I can't be thinking of it in a pessimistic way. I just feel like people in the video that are watching this, I have a good feeling that they're like, man, shut them bitches up. You know what I mean? I'm just playing. But like, that is honestly what I gotta be living with. And I still appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie. I still appreciate existing. I still appreciate my neighborhood. I still appreciate having a roof over my head. Because in reality, that's what it's all about, honestly, bro. Having a roof over my head. Appreciating those little things will allow you to, be able to accept what you will have in the future, I feel like. But going along with the comic series thing too, I wanted to mention that Charlie's gonna start off in his teenage years. And with every lesson, like I said, he's gonna develop more and more psychic awareness. But he's also going to, as time go on, basically, he's gonna let vengeance take control of his life in a way. Because of his past experiences, because of his own mental issues, because of what he has to deal with. He will let vengeance control his actions and his feelings through most of his life, up into his adulthood. And it will actually inevitably lead him into becoming a hitman, eventually. A psychic hitman. He will be somebody who trusts his intuition so much so that he will know what move to make. He will know what to do. But in reality, he's not a hitman. He's not going to be a hitman that's just killing any normal people, any ordinary people for those other people. He's going to be a hitman that specifically targets the people in the world that he feels the most vengeance for, the people in the world that cause him the most pain and cause the people around him the most pain and hurt and suffering. And he's going to use his psychic abilities to not only track those people down, but to also connect with the victims of those people and realize what those people have done to those victims. And he wants to be, in a way, a source of karma for those people. Vengeance is not the right way to go. And I don't want to promote that with this comic series, because eventually he's not going to be a hitman forever. It's going to be something that, in a way, is his transition from teenagehood to adulthood. It's going to be his transition. And the way he's going to go about that is interesting. It's going to be so many little things leading up to everything, basically. And I love how much I have, like, thought out for it already. Because I really have. I have a lot thought out for what I plan to do for this series. But, anyways, before I end this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about astrology, too. I feel like a lot of people misunderstand astrology in a way. I feel like a lot of people only see astrology for the sun signs. I feel like a lot of people who are quote unquote interested in astrology tend to focus on our sun signs, and also tend to focus on the fact that they tend to think that astrology determines exactly who you are, when that is not the case. I personally believe, I don't know if it's a widespread opinion, but I personally believe that we, like our characters, who we are, is half our environment and our experiences leading up to this moment. It's half of that and half astrology and half the things that the stars have aligned for you, you know. I feel like that's what it is. And that's just my personal opinion on it, you know. I know a lot of people who don't really believe in astrology, and I feel like it's because they've had so much contact with people that take it the wrong way and are not willing to learn everything about it. Astrology is definitely something that you can't really talk about and influence that much people with it and yourself with it if you are only willing to learn a certain couple aspects of it. If you are interested in astrology, I feel like you should continue that. I feel like you should want to learn as much as you can about it in reality. I feel like that is what allows you to understand and respect astrology the way that I do personally, because I try to learn a little bit more about astrology every day. I feel like a lot of people don't know, because we know about our sun signs, you know, our birth month, how it determines our sun signs. But I think a lot of people don't know about our moon signs. I think that's very important, because our moon sign determines how we handle our emotions. Me in particular, being a moon in Aries, I have very fiery emotions, very spontaneous emotions that, you know, I feel like inspire my art and inspire my way of thinking in a way. But with astrology, there's no 100% in astrology. You know, you could read your whole chart and connect all the little meanings you can about it and still find things that don't add up. Because the thing is about astrology is that people don't realize it's talking about every single person to have lived with those signs in their chart, with those influences in their chart. It is literally talking about every single person to have lived. It's not just talking about you, you know. I feel like a lot of people are either not willing to understand that or just don't, you know. They just don't, which is okay. You know, you don't have to learn about astrology. You don't have to know about none of that. But personally, I am interested in it, and I wanted to cover it today because I feel like a lot of people, you know, they don't really understand what it truly is. And if I can be somebody to, you know, teach people what it is to me, at least, then I feel as though I have served my purpose. I've served my mission. And my purpose and mission is to inspire as many people as I can and achieve as much as I can in this lifetime and become as much as I can and just be and just appreciate my life for what it is. Those are my purpose and missions in this life that I will obtain, that I know I will. And with that being said, you all are valuable. I appreciate all of you. You know, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people in this world that probably won't always agree with you. They probably won't always agree with either your opinions or the way that you handle life. And I don't want y'all to let those people let you like stray you off path, you know, and take you off the path that you were destined to be on. I don't want you to let those people make you think that because that you are doing what you are doing for yourself and pursuing what you're pursuing for yourself, as long as it is not hurting you or anybody else, then they don't really have much of a say in what you should be doing in reality. If it's not hurting you, it's not hurting anybody else, then why should they have a problem with it? But people will. People are going to have a problem with it. That's just how people work. I accept that, and I still respect those people. I truly do. I respect the people that don't agree with me. I respect the people that don't believe in me, because I believe in myself enough to not only forgive those people, but to respect those people and give them that respect. Of course, I'm not going to open up my soul to those people. Of course, I'm not going to give those people my full trust and love and support, because in a way that would be self-sabotage. If they're not willing to give that back to you, I feel like in a way that would just be self-sabotage. I have been the victim of that a lot in my life. I have been somebody to give my all to other people and not receive anything in return, and not really realize that I'm not even receiving anything in return. You know, I've made that mistake, I feel like, a lot in my life. But I've learned a lot from that too, and I accept the fact that I was that in the past. And I accept what I am now. And I accept that I'm growing with each and every day. So, I just want y'all to remember, even if it's something small, contribute something little to your goals every single day. Make a little bit of progress on yourself every single day. Make a little bit of progress on your work, on who you are, how you feel. Make just a little bit of progress, even if it's a little bit. Accept it. You know, there's going to be days where we're not going to be making as much progress as others. And that just goes along with the balance of life. That just goes along with the fact that for there to be those ups, those highs, there has to be those lows, period. I've experienced so many lows in my life. And I feel like that's what allows me to appreciate the highs that I have in my life now. I feel like that's what allows me to appreciate the fact that I know I will have more highs in my life. Is because I have understood that those things are in the past and I can't do anything about them. But not only that, they have created who I am today, whether they were negative or not. You know? They motivated and fueled my existence to be what I am today. Period. Whether they're negative or not, like I said, whether they're positive or negative, whether they're intense or not, they have had a little bit of influence on me. Everything has. And it is what has led me to this very moment that is talking to you. But anyways, I appreciate y'all. I always do. Y'all are always valuable. And if you watched to this moment in the video, thank you. Thank you so much. But even if you didn't, like I said, even if you didn't, I still appreciate you. I understand these videos are long. You know, that's why I honestly suggest to put these videos on in like the background of you doing whatever you need to do. You know, you doing homework, you doing some school shit, you know, you working on your art, your music, your whatever. If you can multitask, I feel like it's best to just have these on in the background. You know what I mean? And just listen. I feel like that's how these are meant to be watched in a way. But y'all can also just watch me interact and my hand gestures and my all, you know, what I do. Because I am who I am. And I accept that and I appreciate that. But yes, I love you and I appreciate every single one of you. And I want y'all to remember that. That I love you all and that I am proud of you all too. I think that's something that not a lot of people hear nowadays. But I am proud of you. I am appreciative of you and what you have done in this world. Whether you see it as negative, whether you see it as positive, I appreciate it. Period. And y'all have infinite potential as always. And I want to end this video showing y'all my Mr. Rogers shirt. Oh my God, look at my Mr. Rogers shirt. I love Mr. Rogers. He helped me through a lot in my life. I'm not gonna lie. He helped me through some very tough times in my life. He made me reconnect with that inner child in me and nurture it to where I am today. Not to the point where it's making my actions and my decisions childish, but to the point where I am accepting of that part of me in a way. And I'm accepting of the fact that to be an adult is not to abandon your inner child. It's not to abandon every childlike quality of life. I feel like to be an adult is to learn to be to learn to progress every day, to learn to put the work in that you need to get to where you need to be, to have realistic goals, to have goals, period, for yourself, dreams, inspirations, and to know that it is your responsibility to get done what you need to get done. I feel like that is what being an adult truly is. And I just want y'all to remember that. And I be saying it every time, but y'all are valuable. You are valuable as hell. Valuable as hell. I appreciate every one of you. And peacington to every one of you.